You've been rolling?
It's just had a dry mud bath.
You've been rolling,
What
mate?
is that? It's even more dusty than it usually is.
Hello, it's Lee here from Walking Derbyshire, and we've got Laura with us today.
Hi.
In fact, we've got a full house. We've also got the dogs with us. We've got little Stanley down here. You all right, Stanners? And Bella the Westie. Hello, Bella. You enjoying today? So, we've got a really good walk planned today. We parked just on the hill there at Millinglow Car Park, and here you've got the High Peak Trail behind us. But what we're going to do, we're going to head down into Pike Hall, and then down Gratton Dale to Dale End at the end, then loop back round through Rusden Wood, Longdale, and then back to the car park. It's a little bit windy today, isn't it?
Yeah, I've already got my hat on actually, just to keep my hair down because it's a bit gusty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been really nice for the last couple of weeks. I mean, I've been out doing lots of hiking. I had a couple of days off and got a bit sunburnt, haven't I? But yeah, it's not as warm today, so coat's back on, but still nice. Hopefully the sun will stay out all day.
It's going to be a good one.
Just seeing the distance there's a limestone embankment. Well, that was built in the 1830s for the railway line, built out of limestone rubble, and it's an incredible structure. And we're gonna be looping back round there at the end of the walk, so we'll have a closer look when we come back round. But what an amazing feat of engineering from the 1830s. Just coming into Pike Hall now, can see the beginnings of the small village there. On the right hand side, one of my favourite features of the peaks in Derbyshire, lime kiln. Look at that beauty there, still in situ on the side of the land. You can see it's got a bit of a brick archway, mainly built of stone. But oh, there's a rabbit as well. Is that a hare?
Yeah,
That's
a
just
hare.
running along the top of the hill there.
Wow.
Come. Quite rocky down this Gratton Dale, especially through this initial bit. If you don't like rocky paths, it's probably best avoided. Laura, remember when we were down here late winter, we were coming back, sun was going down and there were thousands of starlings all in these trees murmurating. Yeah, they kept flying up into the sky and then dropping back down into the trees. It was an incredible sight. So we're just coming up to the start of Mouldridge Mine here. So there are shafts at the top there, a couple of shafts at the bottom. It started its life as a mine in the 1830s as a lead mine, and it changed hands a few times, different owners, and it went right through to the 1950s, I believe it was, and then eventually closed down. But it's one of my favourite mines because it's easily accessible, easy to get around. There are some tight squeezes if you want to find them, but on the whole it's a nice one to go in.
I think I'm going to wait right here while you have a little look in there, Lee. I'm quite happy. I'll get my book out.
No worries. Right, I'm going to get the torches out and we're going to have a look in Mouldridge Mine. But just before we go in, it's interesting to look around the mine. I mean, here it looks like there's some earthworkings. There's probably an old coe here, an old miner's hut. Here's a shaft here that goes down probably into the lower workings on the left hand side. Here, look, this looks like another coe, possibly even a very small sheepfold. Go, Mouldridge Mine, look at this, beautiful old air compression pipe there. Look at that old cart, God knows when that was dumped there. Nice big open tunnels. Down there gets you to the lower workings. Look at it going up here, look, unbelievable. It's quite damp in here to say we haven't had that much rain. Look at the pick marks on the wall. Look Look at that up there, absolutely unbelievable. That wall of deads there. Look at that, soot marks. It's been burning. Perhaps candles. Look at these pick marks here. It's getting a bit damp in here. Look at this old bit of timber here, holding those deads up there. There, look at this. Right there's a shaft to the lower workings. I don't want to go falling down that. Probably going to be a dead man. Good girl, Bella. Good girl. Hey Laura, what are you doing next in a couple of weeks' time? What are you doing?
I'm doing a solo hike. I'm going to do the Peak Pilgrimage.
Nice.
So I'm
Which
really
one?
excited for that.
It's
It
2.
starts at Ireland, goes to Eam. It's 14 miles-ish or thereabouts. So yeah, stopping over not far from Hartington, Jug and Glass.
Yeah.
And then the second stop's in Bakewell.
This is where Gratton Dale continues down to the bottom. If you go right, it gets up to I think it's a place called Grange or something like that, and back up to the road. But we'll go left, takes you down to Dale End. Honestly, it's absolutely beautiful, Dale. And then this is your long Dale. And I think these are like the dolomitic limestone again. Very unusual. We're going to be coming back down this way at the end of the walk. Last time we did this walk a couple of months back, on the right hand side here, there was a monkjack running all over the tops. And we were kind of following it the whole way down the valley. And you could see its markings on the ground as well. So it's obviously this was its territory. So we'll keep an eye out for that, because who knows, it may still be kicking around. We nearly didn't come out today, did we, Laura? It was sort of last minute. Got the day off and thought, you know what, let's get out in nature.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like it can be a bit of an effort, you know, it's like an hour to get here and you've got to pack the car up and all that, but you know, now we're here, we're loving it, aren't we?
Oh, it's so worth it. You just feel at home, well we do, just feel at home out here and just free. Just a sense of peace really. It's so quiet, but it's just so good to be out in nature, away from screens, away from our desks, and when you've got a day off you just don't want to spend it indoors like you normally would do when it's a working week. So we just kind of, I don't know, use it to recharge our batteries. That's how I feel.
Yeah, just really grateful to be out, aren't we?
Yeah.
Check this out. Look at that. Frog or a toad. It's just seems very intact. It's just stopped on the path and almost just like decomposing. Really odd. I've not seen anything like that before. Just spotted something on the side of the valley. So yeah, just walked up half of Gratton Dale here. A little bit out of breath, but yeah, you know, you just get a feeling you're onto something. Look what I found here. Look at this place. Old quarry, old lead mine, again perhaps. Old barrel. Oh yes. Look at this. Down it goes. Bit of a tight crawl, that one. Let's have a look at this one here on the left. Yeah. Let's just get ourselves in here a little bit. Again, a bit of a tight crawl. Yeah, a bit of a squeeze. Probably not going to bother with that. But yeah, look at this. This is one for another day, isn't it? Well, it's been a bit of a highlight for me because I've not seen this place before. been down this Gratton Dale many times, but it's great to find something new like this. And I just feel the history here. You know, you can imagine the men working from perhaps over the top there, or even coming up from the valley floor down here, looking for this valuable lead and fluorspar from 1800s, maybe even 1700s. Crazy. Right, let's get back down to that valley floor.
This area here was flooded last time we came down because it was quite difficult to get through this gate before, so it's quite a relief to see that it's dry now. It's a lot more pleasant to walk through.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we had to go up there, didn't we, on the left-hand side? In fact, it was flooded all the way down here.
You can see actually here, look, this kind of like, it looks like it's been underneath water.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff on the rocks, like stuck to the rocks. Looks like seaweed.
This is Dale End. Yeah, we did a walk up here a couple of weeks back, where Robin Hood's tried, didn't we? And you came around here, dropped back down over to Yorgrave from here. In fact, the walk that's on the website does actually go all the way to Yorgrave, but we're going to cut this a little bit shorter today and turn off into that Rusden Woods rather than going all the way to Yorgrave. Hello. This is your Gratton Grange farm. There's normally chickens running around in here, isn't there?
Yeah, you've got to be careful of these two terriers.
Yeah. This is quite old, isn't it, this? Is it on here, this building, this farm building here on the left? Yeah, here we go. Pillars. These ancient pillars, look. Well, I say ancient, but they're quite old. 1853, look. Wow.
Well, apparently Granges used to be run by monasteries, so they were actually set up by non-ordained monks just to produce food as a source of income, but also supplies for like the local village, I suppose.
Still windy, hopefully you can hear me. This is quite interesting. This is like on a bit of a bank here, and I reckon this is man-made. And you can see in this field, those lynchettes are over there, and here you got ridge and furrow in the land. That ancient technique of farming the land with a plough and an ox, just going through the land like that. So obviously, yeah, in the medieval times this was a hive of activity. So views are opening out here, so we're going to take this long driveway up to this farm holiday cottage here, and then we're going to loop back round. But the walk on the website continues on into Middleton Dale there, and then goes into Bradford Dale. And you can just see, well, I just saw it a minute ago, you can actually see the tops, the church at Yorgrave. There's Yorgrave just in the distance. Right, so we're continuing on through this up to Rustin Wood. Honestly, such a beautiful place. It's not massive, but it's a real magical is the word I was looking for. Yeah, really unusual.
Tell it's quite ancient.
Yeah.
Around here, and it's interesting because you've got Millinglow not far away, which is like a Neolithic
Ancient burial ground, isn't
burial
it?
ground, and then you've got Below as well, which was a stone circle. All the stones were actually pushed over at one point, weren't they? That grass hanging down from the rock looks like beards just gently flowing in the wind.
Lots of beards just gently flowing. Who knows what that Arbelo was for, really? I mean, we don't really know. I mean, they say ceremonies or whatever, but we don't really know. And the way the stones are aligned, often aligned with the stars, aren't they, and constellations and things. So it's probably a lot more deeper meaning than we ever realise. like this for a camping spot. Nice bit of shelter here. Get your bivvy down there for the night. Got a nice view of the wood. Fantastic, look at that down there. Beautiful.
Good boy.
We've just come from this bridle way off the road and we're still climbing up. Going to go up and over the fields down into Longdale. You see in the distance there, you got Bakewell down in the valley. You see it, Laura? And over that line of trees over the other side, you got Chatsworth. And just down to the right, you got Haddon Hall.
Really nice here. So it says, we meet to create memories and depart to cherish them. I don't know if that's maybe a memory of somebody, but it's really beautiful.
I want to show you something in a second. Now I've looked online for this, can't see any information, could be complete false alarm. If you've been up to Millinglow and you've been in the woods there and you see the old ancient chambered tombs, the kists, and they've got these like capstones on top and they're obvious ancient burial grounds, well, I think I found another. Let's go and have a look. You're telling me that this isn't one of those kists? Look at this, must have been put here on top, like the capping stone at the top, and in there you've got these stones holding up on, circling it, and that, I'm guessing, is where they would have buried someone. There probably would have been more stones around here. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this. Like I say, nothing online, but that's highly unusual. That has got to be something, hasn't it? This is that stone embankment on the Cromford High Peak line. There's a few of these on the line. They've got all this rock from the quarries off the line itself. There's one up there, a couple of quarries along the line actually. But what an amazing feat of engineering. This was built in 1825.
I think that archway was put in so that you could access the farm or the Grange.
Yeah.
Grange.
Through there.
So it's just literally just for access to that.
Unbelievable.
Looks like something you build into a castle or something.
It really is. Right, we're back at Millinglow Car Park. It's like £6.60 now to park for £4.80 the other day. Anyway, it's a little moan, but yes, it's for this car park because you wouldn't know, but this used to be a good yard for the High Peak Railway. Got through here, and there was a couple of sidings, a couple of rail tracks, and I think there was a crossing there that could come over the road. But anyway, that's it, that's the walk done. Been absolutely fantastic. A bit windy, I hope you've been able to hear us on this walk, but it's a quite good area. How many people have seen today, Laura?
Literally 2 people.
Two people?
Guy walking and I think
Someone on a bike, yeah, and that is it, the whole day. Yeah, it's really nice. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.